The Biden administration taking a lot of heat for its decision to set up a disinformation governance board, which will be headed by a so-called Russia expert who peddled, you guessed it, disinformation.
A Fox News contributor Lara Trump joins us now. Lara, we've been talking about this all morning long, but one question we have not yet asked. Query me this.
Oh.
What would have happened if one Donald J. Trump decided to start a disinformation board?
I mean, I can't even imagine the number of heads that would have exploded simultaneously, Todd, if something like that would have happened. Obviously, this whole thing is very concerning. If you care about the United States of America and our First Amendment rights, our freedoms of speech, this is such a concerning spot to find ourselves in America. I actually remember reading 1984, George Orwell's book, and thinking to myself about the Ministry of Truth. What an awful thing that would be to have happen to any society. And yet we now see we are one step closer yet again under the leadership of Joe Biden and the Democrat Party to, 1984 basically coming to fruition in so many ways. It is not surprising that this woman who they have tapped to head the disinformation board thinks that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation pushed by the Trump campaign. Obviously, that was true. She pushed the Russia collusion hoax. And we all know, guys, how well the social media fact checkers in the past have traditionally worked. So when you take something to a government level, it always works better, right? I mean, it's all so laughable. It's all so outrageous. But it is incredibly frightening, I think, in America to see this happening. And I think, Todd, you pointed this out earlier. Excuse me, I will double down on it. The fact that this is happening right before the midterm elections, that's everything that has to do with, it is all about the Democrats trying to retain power because they know the only way they can do it is by lying to the American people.
Yeah, the other thing we want to talk about is President Biden. He recently spoke to teachers who were winning an award at the White House, and he suggested that children don't belong to parents, they belong to teachers. And then you have Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt tweeting about it. He said, God gave kids to parents, not to the government. Chris Rufo, who is an outspoken critic of wokeness in the classroom, also had this to say about this ongoing debate between who children really belong to. Watch this.
What's happening is that these ideologies are going down to the youngest ages because they believe that if you can start kids normalizing pronouns like Z, Zim, Zer, Tree, all of these neo-pronouns, these neo-gender identities, they can shape them from the very beginning, take them away from parents, and they can put forth their ideology.
And that's the real fear here, Laura, is that there are teachers out there who are trying to turn kids into activists.
Yeah, that's right, Carly. Unfortunately for Joe Biden, he, as usual, said the quiet part out loud, and he told us the truth. He told us what is actually happening out there in so many respects. The Democrats have been very clear. They want to fundamentally transform America. Well, how do you do that? You don't do it by starting with the people that are adults that have fully formed brains. They're a lot harder to influence in this way. You start in the public school system. You start at the bottom with the kids, and you start teaching them things that are very hard to teach, again, adults, like the fact that there are dozens of genders. Men can get pregnant, pushing things like CRT. So obviously, that is what we have seen happening. We know it's happening. Joe Biden told you in his speech there that they are not our kids. Of course, they are the only people in charge of children are their parents. It is not Joe Biden, not the government, not the teachers. They are your children. If there is one reason I would tell people to get out and make sure you vote in the midterm elections this year, it is this reason right here. It is for our kids. We cannot allow this sort of thing to happen. And I think there are a lot of parents out there that have been paying attention, and man, are they mad about it.
It is so worrisome that concept of these kids are the government would even be something that we are discussing. But we have to, because it appears that the Biden administration and others on the left think this is appropriate. It is certainly not.
Yep.
Lara Trump, Have a great weekend. We appreciate your insight as always.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Happy Friday
Great to see
to
you.
you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.